If you're getting a Monday.com API timeout error, don't worry. In this video, I'll walk you through a few quick and practical fixes that can help you get back up and running. API timeouts can happen for a number of reasons, including a slow internet connection, a request that's too large, or timeout settings that are too strict. The good news is that most of the time, this is something you can troubleshoot step by step without needing advanced tools. If this video helps you out, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more helpful tutorials just like this. All right, let's jump in. The first thing you want to do is refresh the page or retry the request. Sometimes a timeout happens because the connection was interrupted for just a moment, and a simple refresh is all it takes to clear the issue. If you're using a script, app, or integration, try sending the request again and see if it succeeds on the second attempt. Next, check your internet speed. Open your browser and search for speed test, then run a test to see if your connection is stable. A slow or unstable internet connection can definitely cause API requests to time out, especially when the request depends on a reliable connection to Monday.com servers. If your speed is unusually low or the connection is dropping, try switching networks, restarting your router, or waiting until your connection is more stable. Now, let's look at the request itself. One of the most common reasons for API timeout errors is that the request is too large or too complex. If possible, reduce the request size by limiting the number of fields you're pulling in, simplifying the query, or breaking one large request into smaller requests. In Monday.com API calls, complex queries can take longer to process, so trimming down what you ask for can make a big difference. If you don't need every field, only request the exact data you actually use. That alone can often solve the timeout issue. Another useful fix is to increase the timeout setting. If you control the client or server configuration, adjust the timeout to give the request more time to complete. Some integrations or custom apps have default timeout limits that are simply too short for heavier API calls. Increasing the timeout can help if the request is valid, but just needs a little more time to finish. At the same time, make sure you're not masking a deeper performance issue. If the request is extremely heavy, increasing the timeout may help in the short term, but reducing the request size is still the better long-term fix. The next step is to retry the request with a delay using exponential backoff. This means if the first request fails, you wait a short time before trying again, then wait a little longer after each failed attempt. This is especially helpful when the issue is temporary, like server congestion or a brief network interruption. A retry strategy can make your integration much more reliable and reduce the chances of a one-time timeout becoming a complete failure. If you're building an automation or API workflow, adding retries is one of the smartest things you can do. After that, test the request again and see whether the timeout still appears. If it does, go back and review whether the query can be simplified even further. Sometimes the issue is not one single thing, but a combination of a slow connection, a large payload, and a timeout limit that needs adjusting. So work through these fixes one by one until the request goes through cleanly. To recap, the main steps are simple. Refresh or retry the request, check your internet speed, reduce the request size, increase the timeout setting, and add retry logic with a delay. Those 5 steps solve a lot of Monday.com API timeout problems very quickly. If this tutorial helped you fix the issue, please give the video a like and subscribe for more easy software tips and troubleshooting guides. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.